Public Library. Welcome to Kids in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make pumpkin pie crescents. Such a fall treat. Before we get started, let's remember to wash our hands. Make sure your work areas are clean, and if you have long hair, can you please pull it back? All right, let's get going. Some of the ingredients today, we're going to use our pumpkin pie mix, crescent rolls, an egg yolk, maple syrup, powdered sugar that we're going to put some milk in. But this recipe calls for pumpkin pie spice, and you can either buy it in the store or you can make it, and today we're going to make it. So it involves cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. So these might be things you have in your cupboard anyway. All right, so first we're going to put in a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we're going to put in a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm going to pour it. These are the spices you would find in like any pumpkin pie. A quarter of a teaspoon of cloves. Oh, a bit too much. And a quarter of a teaspoon of ginger. Now you can adjust these if you don't like these pumpkin pie spices. Say you like one better than another. Not everybody likes ginger. It's a pretty strong spice. All right. So we're going to give it a little stir. And then the spices are ready. All right. Next, we're going to get our baking sheet out, and you're going to want to line it with something like parchment paper or some reusable sheet so your crescent rolls won't stick. All right, these are our crescent rolls. There's 8 in a can. Now they're open. So I like to just dump them on the pan. And then we'll unwrap them. So each crescent roll, each triangle, they're going to be a triangle shape. Turns out to be one roll. So I'm going to get one apart for you. They're perforated so you can see how they come apart. This one has a little hole, so if you get it and it has a little hole, just patch it up. All right, let's get our filling ready. I'm going to put this to the side for just a minute. And for our filling, it's going to be a half a cup of pumpkin pie mix. Here's my half cup. I'm going to turn this and measure out a half a cup. While I'm doing this, I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Okay, in it goes. Okay, that's all we need of that. And to this, we're going to add a slightly heaping tablespoon of the pumpkin pie mix. So that's going to be pretty much what this is. Now, you might want to double it if you want more. And then we're going to add our 1 egg yolk. And that'll make everything stick together. Now, I did slightly less than a heaping tablespoon pumpkin pie mix because I think that's enough. But if you really want it really spicy, feel free to double your recipe for your pumpkin pie spice, and then it'll be spicier. Okay, now we're going to mix this. It mixes up really easy. See? It's all mixed already. Not much work. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back. So for these pumpkin pie crescents, we're going to put like a heaping tablespoon of pumpkin pie mix here on each of your crescents, the wide end. Then you're going to fold it over a little bit, just like this. Kind of press it down, and then keep rolling it until it looks like that. So do another one. Fold it over, press the edges down, keep rolling, just like that. And you keep doing it till you have them all filled. So when you're done, you'll have 8 crescents. Pumpkin pie crescents. What a fall treat. Pressing down and then keep rolling. And while these are baking in the oven, then we'll get the glaze ready. All right, once your pumpkin pie crescents are baked, we're going to put a glaze on them, but you're going to want to let them cool first. Next, we're going to make the glaze. It's a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, a 1.5 tablespoons of milk, and a tablespoon of maple syrup. So once your pumpkin pie crescents have cooled, you want to wait maybe 10-15 minutes. Leave them on the pan to cool, and then you're going to make the glaze and you're going to put that on top. So the glaze can either be put on with a spoon, or you could put it in a Ziploc bag and snip off the corner and gently squeeze it out of the Ziploc. It's up to you. All right, so let's mix up our glaze. I'm going to add a 1.5 tablespoons of milk to the powdered sugar. So this is 1, and I'm just going to guess about 1/2. If it's not as thin as you want it, you can always add a little bit more milk. And now I'm going to add a tablespoon of maple syrup. All right. And then I'll just mix it up. Now you could even use a little whisk if you wanted to make sure everything's mixed. All right, I'm just gonna let this sit, and when my pumpkin pie crescents have cooled, I'll bring them back and we'll frost them together. I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, our pumpkin pie crescents are baked. I've let them cool for probably 15 minutes so that they're not so hot that when you put the glaze on, it runs off. But let's try it. I'm just using a spoon. You can do it any way you want. I'm probably putting a teaspoon on each. Looks good. I think I'm going to have extra glaze left when we're done. And don't worry if some of your glaze, some of your filling sort of comes out. That's just fine. Put this on the side, move this over a little bit, put one on a plate. Let's cut it open so we can see what it looks like. Look at that. I'm sure it's tasty. Enjoy your fall treat, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.